Hello guys, so today I am going to talk to you about the latest book I have been reading, and it is Michelle Obama's biography. And apparently it has been taking the world by storm. It is not the book you want to read if you don't like identity politics, because biographies are about identity, and this is about Michelle's understanding of how she became who she is. It is about her identity, and I have to be honest, there are certain things that I loved about this book and certain things that showed a little bit of a fatal flaw, you know, in Michelle's personality. And you've got to remember that when I'm doing this video, I have absolutely no knowledge to speak of American politics really in the background. I don't really know how America works, so I wouldn't be one to say who should be president and who shouldn't be president, or you know, anything about this. But reading this book has given me an understanding of the politics behind it and what people expect from their leaders. So Michelle Obama is the first black lady. And this is important to people because people like landmark victories, like, for example, the recent wedding that we have had in England. What was her name, Florin, again? The lady that married the prince? Which one was it? You see, it was that important to me that I don't even remember her name. You see, the fact that she was black was so important to me as a blind person that I did not remember her name. I do not mind who the royalty marries in England, whether I'm paying for it as a taxpayer or not, even though technically I'm not paying taxes yet, so you know, of course I wouldn't care, some people would say. But anyway, back to Michelle Obama's book. I liked Michelle Obama's book because I liked the fact that I could relate to it. She has a personality that I could relate to, and I could relate to the stories of rejection that she got, like the rejection that she was first met with when the university said, well, we don't usually take a person like you. But the one thing I did notice is that sometimes her identity, or what part of what makes her identity, which is the history of the black people of America, has in fact aided her in making her a unique candidate that stands out from people. And you know, I am a unique character that does stand out from people because not many people see a lot of blind people around. So I can relate to that. I can relate to the stories of rejection because, as some of you who know me may know, I have in the past been rejected from certain jobs and decided to fight back against it and go elsewhere to learn the same skills and to be what I want to be, which was a massage therapist. Durham College did not consider me, because of my blindness, as a good candidate to be a massage therapist under health and safety regulations that we have today in England and throughout Europe. But there we go. Now, Michelle Obama's book, I really took a positive message from, which was, when have we ever really grown up, let's be honest. And what she's really saying by that is that we all are able, we have an innate ability to learn, or to at least want to learn, even if we don't actually have the same capability as everybody else to learn, we still want and strive to learn and to achieve. So I thought that was a great take-home message because it kind of says that there's hope for everybody out there, which is why it's so puzzling well, for me, her dislike of Donald Trump's current presidency, and her dislike of the loss of diversity in the roles that she placed certain minority certain people from minority backgrounds in. And that kind of disturbed me, because that kind of said that we as humans have a flaw where we are very visual driven, very looks driven. And the thing is that we're not actually recognising is that although it is an all-white male body of people that are behind Donald Trump, that doesn't mean that they don't have a different ethnicity. And she was basing her own prejudice on how they looked, and not reserving her judgment to a degree to find out what they would be like, what they would grow into. Because let's face it, just because I'm white British doesn't mean that I don't have similar, if not the same, experiences as another person in Britain who is of minority status. And for that, you know, we've got to recognise that they have a capability of knowing what is fair and what isn't fair for the people around them. And I thought that was quite classist, quite prejudicial towards people who are not of an ethnic background. And she has, as I've said, gained something from having a particular ethnic background, or at least the standing out position where people look at her more and are currently at least far more interested in what she has to say, because as they say, they haven't had a black first lady before her. And I liked how positive she was in giving lots of people of, well, as they say, diverse backgrounds, opportunities. But you saw a lot in her character, in the fact that she is very proud of being black African, and she does like, well, American African background, because she does like a lot of art and introduced a lot of different things into the White House. And overall, I really enjoyed the book, and I thought it was a very insightful read into the cultural complexity of America today. And in terms of racism, it was a very interesting read, especially when contemplating that understanding with my own country's cultural norms and history. Because obviously living in a different country gives you a different ethnic and racial background, you know. So have fun if you want to read this book. That's what I thought of it. And my take-home message is there is always hope. We're always growing, and it reminds me of my grandfather who recently died. Striving to achieve is important. So see you later, guys.